Hello everyone, again welcome to the second episode of the season 2 of CAS in the Cockpit. We have now our Boeing 777 powered up and ready for the engine start. We set already the FMC, we did the flight deck setup, all the powering up procedures, and we are now ready for the engine start. So what we're gonna do, as you can see here, we are cleared for the engine start. So we're gonna open the ground operations page, go to ground connection, release the external power and the chocks, and now we are ready. As you can see, the external power is not available anymore, and now we can do the engine start. For starting the engines, it's very easy. You have the start left engine and right engine, and the fuel control switches for the left engine and right engine. So we'll begin with the left engine. We switch the L engine norm to start, and after that we put fuel in the left engine. And now, as you can see here, the engine is starting right now. Well, it might be not starting at this point. Let me check. No, my bad. It is starting. As you can see here, the numbers are increasing. It was my bad. We are starting our left engine without problems. As you can see here, both numbers are increasing, so we are starting the left engine here, like in the normal procedure. And after the engine stabilizes, I mean the numbers stop to increase or decrease when it's stable, we can begin with the right engine. So the numbers stabilized already, the engine is stable, so we'll start the right engine. The same, right engine start to norm, and then we start and activate the fuel control for the right engine. We'll wait until we see the right engine starting. As you can see, right engine is starting right now, numbers are increasing. So both engines are on right now. Right now we're gonna wait until the right engine is stable, and then we'll turn off the APU because our engines are already on. And that's how we start the engines in the Boeing 777. Alright, the engines are stable. What we're gonna do now is to check that both switches are in the norm position again, and we turn off the APU. We turn on the taxi lights and runway takeoff. You can turn the lights on individually, like here, like I showed, or click in runway takeoff and turn off or on both lights at the same time. So they go to on, as well as the taxi lights, and that is basically what we have to do for the engine start. After that we can go to the center screen and click here in FCTL, that's flight controls, and you're gonna check basically the controls of the aircraft. To the left, to the right, you push down, you pull up, You use the rudder pedals to the left or to the right, and you activate the spoilers if you want to check the spoilers as well. After that is completed, we can do the before taxi checklist. We check NTIs, auto, we press recall, no messages are shown, so NTIs auto, recalls checked, auto brake RTO, flight controls checked, ground equipment clear, before taxi checklist completed. And the last step is to put the flaps in our takeoff position. In our case today is 5, so we put flaps 5. There we are, flaps 5. And now we are ready for taxi. So what we're gonna do is open the map here. We're gonna zoom in as possible as we can, waiting for the charts to load. Alright, so here's our runway 01 center. Here are we. So what we have to do is to turn to the left, taxi via Echo, all the way down into Yankee, and then turn right in Yankee 9er and enter runway 01 center. So what we're gonna do is to release the parking brake, and after releasing the parking brake, normally the 777 should be on a rolling already, or we can put a little bit of power and then start rolling the aircraft. So parking brakes released, and as you can see, we are not rolling yet. We have to put only a little bit of power. So a little bit of power in the right engine, and now we are rolling, as you can see. So we're gonna do an immediate turn to the left because we have to join taxiway Echo, and now we're moving. That's basically all the procedures before moving into the airport, from the gate to the taxi. So we're taxiing straight into that taxiway, as you can see. I think I will join Zulu. That was my mistake, not Yankee. So we're gonna join Zulu, and after that turn right to Yankee 9er and enter runway 01 center. If you're taxiing too slow, you only, as you can see here, you can apply a little bit of power and then back to idle, and now you increased your taxi speed as well. After that turn, I will increase it to 10 knots so you can have an idea of how it works. And remember, for the ground, for turning to the left or right, always with the pedals, you see. So we're gonna turn to the left here. Alright, I'll put just a little bit of power here, and then back to idle, and the ground speed is in 10 knots, as you can see. So yeah, like I told you, we are taxiing via Zulu. We got that little ding dong over there, that's the message, cabin ready. So the cabin ready advises us that the cabin crew is ready for departure, so we can hit the internal mic and say, cabin crew, take your seats. So the cabin is seated for the takeoff. As you can see, we are taxiing via Zulu here, and then we will turn right in Yankee 9er and enter the runway. So right now we can turn on the strobe lights and the landing lights. If we click in landing, we can turn the 3 at the same time to on. And now we do the before takeoff checklist. We open checklist again. Flaps 5 set, before takeoff checklist completed. And now we're ready for departure. The reason why I just brake is because we passed. I lost the turn, as you can see. I thought I had time to turn to the right in Yankee 9er. I am already too far away from the turn. So what we have to do is to go back to Yankee 9er via this taxiway here. This some mistakes that are not nice in real life, because the certified pilots should be aware of doing the right turns in the assigned taxiways. So my bad, sorry. I'm turning back and going back to the expected taxiway. So right now, as you can see here, we are taxiing via Yankee 11. And I will turn to the right into Yankee. Alright, so you can see we're taxiing via Yankee, and then we turn left to Yankee 9er. Then we should be ready for departure. As you can see there, to the left, Yankee 8, I don't know. It should be Yankee 9er. Yeah, it's Yankee 9er for runway 1 center, our expected entrance to the runway, our intersection. So here, if we had ATC, we have to ask for the takeoff clearance, of course, before entering the runway. But as we are flying offline and no ATC or other pilots are in my server, we only go into the runway for takeoff. We check that left is clear, right is clear, and then we can turn to the runway. This is lined up, we can start with the turn. Alright, we are ready for takeoff. What we're gonna do is release the parking brakes, and then I will apply a little bit of power, waiting for the engines to be stable, and then you can press this button over here. That's the toggle button. This button will apply all the power all the way to this green arrow, so that's the power that we need for takeoff. Or if you press this hidden button over here, this button will do exactly the same as this button. This button here, it's only for saving time, not looking 30 minutes for the button. It's more comfortable clicking here. But this is the toggle button. This will apply all the power that we need for takeoff. In this case, takeoff number 2. After that, I'm gonna pull up for leaving the ground and start flying. When we reach the VR speed, 149er in our case today, and after applying the full power, I will start the chronometer here. When we have positive rate climb, we will put the gear in the up position, we will retract the landing gear, and then retract with the time the flaps until the up position. So ready for departure, We release the parking brakes, apply some power. We're waiting for the engines to be stable, and toga, takeoff. Thrust set, 80 knots is checked.
V1.
Rotate. Positive rates, gear up. Start the timer. We are following the runway heading, our way to Ringnes. We're climbing to 2,000 feet. Altimeter to standard because it's the same as the standard one because we have no wind. Now we can put flaps 1. And we can put the autopilot on. Fly direct to Ringnes and flaps up. Confirm 7,000 and we are flying direct to Ringnes, our first waypoint today. We synchronize the heading. In this case, LNAV is activated, so the heading is controlled by the autopilot, but we have to synchronize the heading in case of manual flying. So we synchronize 053 and continue climbing with 1,000. Continue climbing to flight level 130. We just passed 5,000. Now we do the after takeoff checklist. We open after takeoff checklist, land gear up, flaps up, after takeoff checklist completed. So right now passing 6,000. As you can see here, we're gonna turn then to the right on our way to New York. I don't understand what does this waypoint here mean, but we're gonna cancel it if necessary. So we can cancel the chronometer at this point. And after that turn, we should be already at 10,000 feet after the turn. So after that, we're gonna do the procedures above 10,000 feet. Yeah, we will climb to 220, for example. Here. Alright, we are turning to the right now, synchronize the heading again. Heading 110. Alright, the turn is done. So I will now turn off the lights, taxi lights off, runway takeoff, runway turn off, landing off, camera lights off, and the seatbelts to auto. Now seatbelt sign is off because no turbulence is expected, so the passengers can leave already the seats. So we continue with our climb on the way to flight level 220. We're passing flight level 135, and if we extend the range, we are going to activate right now the weather radar, the airport, and here as well the airport and the terrain radar. Why did I activate the weather radar right now? Because without the weather radar we cannot see if there are precipitation or turbulence areas in front of us. With the weather radar activated, we can look for some turbulence or precipitation or bad weather areas and avoid them with enough time. So that's the reason why we activate weather and airport, so we can look for the airports in the vicinity of our aircraft. We can continue extending the range to 80 miles. Look all our path in the way to New York. Alright, we will continue with the next flight level to 900 because we have to continue with the climb. And as you can see, I guessed it, I guess, because 290 is our cruise flight level today. So we're gonna let in flight level 290 because we will cruise all our way to New York at 29,000 feet, so that's the final altitude today. I think so, at least. Yeah, 290, no step climbs today. Alright guys, as you can see, we are reaching our cruise altitude, flight level 290, we are flight level 284, only 600 feet away from the goal. So right now here is our cruise altitude, the power is decreasing as you can see, because we will level our aircraft at flight level 290. After that I will put flight level change. I left VNAV speed already. We change it to Mach. Flight level 290 heading 100. We're currently following, and I will increase a little bit. I will increase the speed for our cruise flight. And Mach 82 should be enough. It's a normal cruise speed for the 777. Mach 82, following heading 100. Right now turning a little bit to the left, heading 095 I expect, and maintaining flight level 290. Alright, maybe 93. Alright guys, and that concludes our tutorial for departure and cruise. Right now we're cruising. We completed all the procedures until cruise. And right now for the simulation, it consists in changing the flight level with the step climbs. If ATC require another speed, another heading, looking for traffic in the vicinity, and waiting for reach our top of descent. And yeah, that's why I will close this tutorial at this point where we are cruising in our way to New York. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next one, the last tutorial for the 777, which consists in the descent, approach and landing, plus parking of course at the gate. Thank you very much for watching guys. I will see you in the next one.